Hello and welcome everyone, CarMAN back with another video, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my 2012 Audi Q5. This is the V6 3.2 liter model. So the problem I'm facing right now is that I'm getting a check engine light and the code is P0300, and that code is for the cylinder 2 misfire. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys on how you can diagnose the cylinder misfire and most likely fix the misfire. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So for the V6 3.2 liter model, the cylinders fire as follow: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to locate my cylinder 2, which is right here. So what I'm going to do right now is remove the wiring, the coil pack, and the spark plug out of the cylinder 2. And then I'm going to grab the cylinder 2 spark plug and insert it into one of the other cylinders. So cylinder 3 has a little bit more space, so I'm going to grab the spark plug from here and swap it over there. I'm going to use the same coil pack, the wiring and everything is going to stay the same, and then I'm going to go test it out. And before you start with this procedure, make sure your car has completely cooled down. I've let it sit overnight, so my engine and all the parts around are completely cold, so everything's easy to touch and work with. And also, when you're going to be opening up a spark plug, you want to make sure it's completely cool because they're aluminum, and if it's hot, you're going to end up screwing up the threads. That's a word of precaution, and now let's get started. So on this, to remove the coil packs, we're going to have to remove these 2 torque screws, and these are T20. Just be very careful with removing these screws, because if they fall, you might not be able to find them. And now what I'm going to do is push these tabs to release the coil packs from the wiring. So now to separate the coils from the wiring, you're going to use a flathead screwdriver. There's a pin on each coil, and what you're going to do is just push the pin a little bit back and at the same time pull the wiring, and they should separate from one another. So just like this, and then pull back, and then do the same on the next one, and pull, and then same with the last one. And once they're all 3 released, this will move back and our coils are now exposed. And now to remove the coil, you're going to just give it a slight wiggle and at the same time keep pulling up. And a tip I wanted to share with you guys, if you do have a stuck coil or if it's pretty jammed in tight, you can use a straight screwdriver or a small like prying tool to basically insert it down here and pull up. And with the help of that, it'll be a lot easier to pull this coil out. And now, since I'm pretty tight on space, we're going to just safely maneuver it out, just like that. There's our cylinder, the spark plug's inside, and the tool we're going to be using to remove the spark plug is a 5/8 socket. And then slowly just maneuver it all out, just like that. So here is my spark plug. So now what I'm going to do is go to cylinder 3, take the coil pack off, take the spark plug out, and then put the spark plug into cylinder 2, and this cylinder 2 spark plug is going to go into cylinder 3. But the coil packs are going to stay the same, and I'll tell you why once I swap these 2. This is the coil pack that I just removed from cylinder 3. Make sure you keep it set aside for cylinder 3 and not mix it up with cylinder 2. This right here is the spark plug from cylinder 3. So now what I'm going to do is install this cylinder 2 spark spark plug into cylinder 3. And when you're installing the spark plug, you want it to be even more gentle. You want to feel the thread and not force anything. Once you feel it's going into the thread, then start tightening it slowly. And as you guys are seeing, I'm hand tightening all the way. There's no ratchet or anything on. You don't want to force nothing. So now that it's hard to hand tighten it, I'm going to grab the ratchet and just give it a quarter turn. Just like that. And now cylinder 3 spark plug is going into cylinder 2. And now I'm going to install the original coil pack that I removed from cylinder 2 into cylinder 2. And the reason why you don't want to mix these two up is because right now we're diagnosing. We don't know if the spark plug is bad, we don't know if the coil pack is bad, or it might just be another issue altogether. So right now all we did is swap out the two spark plugs from cylinder 2 to cylinder 3 and cylinder 3 to cylinder 2. So now we're going to reinstall everything back together, the coil packs back into their same places, reconnect the wire, and then tighten down the two screws that we removed earlier. Now that everything is tightened down, we're going to close the hood. Now we're going to go back inside our car, plug in our OBD scanner, and scan for codes. So I'm going to erase the codes. The DTCs have been cleared, and now we're going to go on a quick test drive. So now once I started my car, the check engine light is gone due to us erasing it, but we're going to go on a quick test drive now. The backup camera does come in pretty handy. Almost smashed into my house wall, but luckily we got parking sensors and a backup camera in our Audi. So anyways, I'm going to drive the car for about 10 to 15 minutes and then I'll get back to you guys with the results. So I put some miles in, I've driven it all day, and about like 40-50 miles in, the check engine light did end up coming in. And now I've scanned it and I'm still getting the P0300 code. It's for cylinder 2 Misfire. So since the spark plug swap did not end up doing the job, now we're going to swap the coil packs with cylinder 2 and cylinder 3 and see what happens. And we're going to do the same thing right now. We're going to open up these two screws, push the wiring harness back, and then swap coil pack 2 with coil pack 3 and coil pack 3 to coil pack 2. Once we swap these two, we're going to plug everything back in, clear the code, go back to the car, and again take it for a test drive. And have our fingers crossed that this time the code that shows up is for cylinder 3 Misfire. But let's swap these things up and wish for the best. So here's coil pack 2. And here's coil pack 3. And what we're going to do now is basically just grab coil pack 3 and insert it into the cylinder 2. Just like this. Push that back and push it into place. And then this is cylinder 2's coil pack, which we're going to put into cylinder 3, just like this, and push it into place. Now that they're completely sealed in, we're going to connect the wiring harness, and then we're going to reinstall the two screws. So right now, if I look at the code, cylinder 2 is showing, and I'm going to erase the code and go on a test drive. I've driven my Audi for about another day or so, and the check engine light finally kicked in. And I just scanned it and I'm getting the same code, P0300 cylinder 2 Misfire. So the coil and the spark plug did not fix this issue, so both of those things are fine. It looks like we're dealing with something else. It might be a fuel injector, it might be your valve cover gasket, or your cylinder 2 seal that is out that needs to be replaced. So now the diagnostics gets a little harder, but Your best bet after this is to check your fuel injector. But I really hope your problem did get solved with the spark plug or the coil swap. I would really appreciate if you could hit the like and subscribe button. And if this didn't help you guys out, or if you guys found out what the actual issue was with your car, just drop a comment down below so we could help each other out. And I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys soon with another video. Thank you.